You just wanted to mention the Knight's Whisper because Knight's Whisper is a pretty juicy card.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, is it just better as Sign and Blood? Like
Oh, yeah, I
burning
mean,
the
because
opponent for
Sign
2?
Blood's double black, so
Yeah, I
the
mean, I
Knight's
understand, but
Whisper is going to give you a little bit more.
flexibility. We're all
Yeah, no.
playing dual lands. I mean,
Now, Delver's on 4 wastes, I'm assuming, obviously.
yep.
Does Czech Pile run the wastelands? It doesn't look like they do.
Nope.
So there is a chance that Delver can also just
Wasteland them out, yeah.
essentially.
All right, looks
Curious to
like
see.
they're cutting, about to get started here. Draw the opening 7.
Let's see. William Walker rolls a 5.
William Walker rolls a 5. All right, try to combat the 5 here. Ooh, and a 7.
Strong 7 from Jared Adamson. And the other player beats still, that is good,
Yeah,
obviously. You want to be able to play with Delver and
match.
get ahead.
The match is starting out the right way for Jared over here.
Alright, just need our days and our times.
CR7 here, and okay, looks like Jared's not necessarily cooperating with our hand cam.
It's okay, we'll figure that in a second.
Let's see. It looks like we have still mulligan decisions here. It's kind of hard to see. It looks like William kept. Now we're just waiting on Jared, who looks like is thinking he's also going to keep. And looks like this is turn 1. Jared starts at the volcanic island, just passes the turn.
So what does he have? He's got a Cabal, Wasteland, Double Brainstorm, Grimlock Angular,
And it
Hover
looks
with
like
the Brainstorm.
blind brainstorm on turn 1 for Jared. Could be a sign that his hand's a little desperate, I think.
Trying for that fetch to take some more purples, but another Wasteland, and there's the
There's a
fetch.
Scalding Tarn, fetch for that brainstorm to make it perfect. Just a basic island for the Czech pile side. That's a little surprising, isn't it? That he just fetches a basic. Maybe he just fears the wasteland.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's the main reason. He doesn't want to play into any Wastelands in the early game. Just get his mana base going. Since his opponent didn't have a Delver, that's gonna really now he's worried about is just getting constrained in any way.
Well, he could be. He doesn't necessarily know he's playing Delver, right? He could be on a number of decks. Just Volcanic Island into Brainstorm could be, it's like half of Legacy. Looks like a polluted Delta from Jared's side of the table, and see if he does anything proactive on this turn. Fetches down to 19.
And we didn't see anything from him that he can do this turn, I don't believe.
Just gonna fetch a slightly off-centered Underground Sea there. It looks like he has no fear of Wasteland. Well, I guess his deck probably doesn't have any basics, so he has no choice but to just play directly into Wasteland.
Right, so I'm really interested what the call is going to be.
Yeah, Cabal Therapy. See if we can get a name here.
So it looks like he needed Baleful Strix, and he hit one.
Oh, he hit a Baleful Strix, it looks like. Yeah, so he definitely named a Baleful Strix. And looks like the rest of the hand for William is a Force of Will, a Brainstorm, Kolaghan's Command, and 3 lands. Oh, it looks like they can't hear you, Graydon. Is your mic just muted? Here, push.
No, I believe that I cut out, actually. I heard a beep. I think it died.
Could you guys hear him at any time? Chat?
Hear the second broadcast, though, still popping around.
All right, sorry guys, we're trying to figure out what's going on with Graydon's headset here. Looks like meanwhile in the game, it looks like William is trying to figure out what to do with the Brainstorm here.
Yeah, it's wireless.
Thinking about what to put back.
No, this is not mine. Who this is. It might be Espy's. That's for, oh.
And he's going to fetch the, crack his Bloodstained Mire now, make it a perfect Brainstorm, and see what he gets. Just a basic Swamp, so he's really trying to dodge those Wastelands here.
I don't see him plug that in.
So I assume that he does know his opponent's on Delver at this point because he's clearly, seems aware that Wasteland is a real possibility to fetch basic in his 4+ color deck. And it looks like a Deathrite Shaman. And pass the turn, the Bolt on the Shaman at the end of William's turn. Jared's going to pay 2 for a Gataxian Probe here. And William reveals a hand of Polluted Delta, Abrupt Decay, Kolaghan's Command, Baleful Strix. So he drew another Baleful Strix after getting his original one Cabal Therapy. So it's not on here. Like, it just doesn't show up on these sources. Do you think that's the problem?
That could be the problem.
Okay, and it looks like Jared plays a Wasteland and then casts his singleton copy of True Name Nemesis, which I can tell you from looking at the deck list, William's deck has a single answer in the main board, and it is 1 copy of Diabolic Edict. So this could quickly cascade into a very one-sided game for Jared, but we'll see what happens. And looks like we're at the end of Williams' turn right now? No, it's on Williams' turn. He's cast the Baleful Strix, now he's cracking a fetch land. That's what's happened. Cracks a fetch land for a Volcanic Island. And it looks like Jared is holding a copy of Forcible. Can't say if he has the blue card just yet, but...
What's the chance we just got some earbuds? Like,
It's going out. It was off. It's gonna be very long.
See if he wants to keep this Ponder or shuffle away. I assume if he doesn't find an answer for this true name, he's just going to have to shuffle. And yeah, he's going to go ahead and shuffle. And it looks like Jared does not have a blue card to go with this Force of Will, so...
Alright, chat, can you let me know if you can hear me now? This is Graydon Baker.
Okay,
Apparently,
it sounds like,
I was muted the entire time before.
Sounds like we got Graydon, trying to get Graydon back in the chat, so if you still can't hear anything, guys, you could let us know in the chat if his mic's still dead.
OMG, yes.
Alright.
Aaron,
Graydon's finally with us.
I'm happy to finally
Seems
be
like that's
back.
what Aaron ASU Devil just like wanted all along, was Graydon on the stream.
Great. Okay, so I missed a little bit of this.
Alright, so
like
Jared went ahead and drew his single copy of True Name Nemesis, cast it, and William did not find Diabolic Edict on his turn, despite digging with a Baleful Strix and a Ponder. Now it looks like we're on Jared's turn. He's Wastelanded the Volcanic Island and cast a Ponder after attacking with True Name Nemesis.
So, that seems... if he can land another creature or have counter magic for the one of Diabolic that he doesn't actually know that his opponent has, but, you know, if he can stop that, there's really no outs here. It would just be a straight raid from William Walker.
And it looks like his hand is a Daze and a Force of Will, so that Diabolic Edict is going to be difficult to resolve for Will here. We're just updating life totals. So it looks like Will's at 14 and Jared's at 17.
Perfect. So, yeah, William Walker at this point is really just going to need to put on some serious pressure in order to race this true name, because there's not going to be any other outs for him as long as there's counter magic up for the 1-0.
And racing isn't really what he's set up to do in this matchup. You know, he's kind of the control deck here, so that's gonna be
a challenge. Yeah. So we see a Sapcaster. Let's see if it resolves and what the target is, assuming it does. Let's see. He's got a Brainstorm in the yard, and I can't really tell what the rest of the cards are.
Yeah, he definitely has a Brainstorm and a Ponder. Probably just gonna cast one of those.
Yep. Looks like the Ponder. So other than the Edict, which is obviously he's looking for, what else do you think he can be going for?
Is Leovold, like, does that accelerate him enough here? Does that help him out enough to...
It is 3/3, right? Same power as the true name, but...
And it helps him out in other ways, obviously. So maybe that's what he's looking for in addition to that Diabolic Edict.
Yeah, there's some Lightning Bolts as well he could try and use to help him out. But I'm thinking, and Death Rites. Death Rite actually here could be really strong. It gives him a way to increase his clock as well as slow his opponents. So Death Rites are probably really what he's looking for at this point, other than the Edict itself.
The 1-mana Planeswalker would indeed help William quite a bit on this board, I would think. Yeah, I guess if Jared doesn't really find any other threats and he's just taking away for 3 a turn, there are cards William can draw to just sort of outpace that.
So we're gonna head back to Jared, draw.
And looks like...
So
So he has a Gurmag in hand.
Yeah, looks like
and he's gonna be
Angler
able
was
to
the draw this
cast.
turn. See if he's in the market to cast that. So much for him not drawing any other threats, by the way. That's quickly not the
Yeah.
case.
The 5/5 zombie fish will increase the clock by a
Zombie
great
fishing
deal.
lure.
Now, he does. It looks like he has another Cabal Therapy. Does he still know any cards in his opponent's hand? We're gonna find
When
out
you
right
Cabal
now.
Therapy him, he had double Colligan's command, and I believe he still does. I just
Okay.
don't think Jared cares that he has that card in his hand right now.
That's very fair.
He's got Force of Will plus blue card and like one card of Insulation. Oh, just one Colligan's command. Sorry about that. He still knows the Abrupt Decay as well. And it looks like he did find a copy of Deathrite Shaman. After the Ponder, he didn't have a mana to cast it last turn, but looks
There's
like he
also a
will
Ham
get
to
to put that on
Torak
the
in
table.
there, so he could use that to clear the way for the Deathrite to make sure it resolves. And here is our zombie fish hanging out and gonna really help out that clock. Now, so he had Abrupt Decay, he can't kill it with that, obviously. Did he have anything else that he can use to clear this out of the way, or is it just gonna be on the Baleful Strix to block right now?
Well, Baleful Strix is a pretty good answer to have set up. It looks like other than that, we've just got... yeah, I'm not actually seeing a clean answer to a Gurmag Angler either. A resolved Gurmag Angler. Looks like his removal is just coming in the form of Fatal Pushes and Lightning Bolts and, a Singleton Abrupt Decay.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, not a whole lot for the threats that Jared is generating here.
And it looks like our volume is low. Sorry, Chad, I hadn't noticed that. Let me see if I can help that out.
Turn the volume. Is this like way too loud? We're trying to monkey with the volume here. Turning it up a little bit. We don't want to.
How's this?
We don't
Yeah.
want to blow people away, break people's speakers or anything like that. So we're erring on the side of being more quiet. I think you might have. Did you turn it down? Oh no, you turned it up.
I turned it up, yeah. Let me know, chat, if this is better for you.
Meanwhile, in the game, William is casting a Hymn to Turok. Looks like that's getting dazed, which William will pay for. And the two cards have been discarded. Looks like Daze another land.
And there's that Deathrite that we were talking about, so I think that really can start pushing the game more in William Walker's favor, since he can start to slowly stabilize. There's a couple creatures in the yard, I believe.
Well, Jared just exiled his entire graveyard, and I think it's just the Baleful Strix for William.
Oh, okay. So not too
no,
much.
He didn't block with the Baleful Strix, so no, there's no great creatures in the graveyard for William. This is just going to be strictly accelerating the clock here, I think. Which life totals are not in William's favor, so. I believe the one card left in Jared's hand is that Force of Will? I could be wrong. You might have discarded it to the him. I'm not really sure.
Let's take a look. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, that is definitely a Force of Will. But he has no blue card to go with it. He does have just enough mana, though, to cast it. The great second mode of Force of Will, casting the card.
That's William's hand.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, I thought the last card in Jared's hand I thought was a copy of Force of Will.
Okay. Better, but still quiet from Hairlord 1. Well, I can turn us up a little bit
like
more.
Some other people are... Oh no, a lot of people are talking that it's slow. Okay, well we're trying to... Bear with us here, we're trying to figure out exactly the correct combination. Alright, we're turning it up. Let us know if we're making it too loud, because like I said, we're kind of trying to figure out the volume situation here as we go. Looks like a Colgan's command has been cast, just 2 damage to the face, and making him discard a card, because it doesn't look like that card's doing a lot else in this game.
So as it stands currently, this Baleful Strix is stopping the Gurmag Angler, so we're really just down to the true name. But with William Walker at 7, that's just 3 turns away, not too long. If there is, and the creature in the graveyard actually doesn't change the clock with the Deathrite Shaman, because he would just go to 9, still multiple 3, so he's gonna die. Oh, but there's another Deathrite. That can also just increase the clock for him. That's 2, 4, 6 damage. Well, he can't attack with the Snapcaster, so that's only 4 damage a turn.
Yeah, and the only answer that William Walker has for the True Name Nemesis is that Diabolic Edict, and of course that Gurmag Angler is just sitting there, so...
Turns that off.
I think William's going to be hard-pressed to find a path to victory here. We were talking about, the dynamics of this match before it started, and it really just boiled down to Jared trying his one, hoser card, and everything else kind of didn't matter.
We're going to see Jataxian Probe. So is that
yeah, down to 4 now for William Walker?
I believe so.
We're fairly certain our life totals are correct here.
And a Young Pyromancer is the follow-up. That's a nice follow-up. It'll give him a little bit more pressure possibly in the future, and it does stabilize him a little bit more from any Diabolic Edict effects. which is kind of
Right, but
nice.
yeah, it doesn't really help him much. I mean, he's not going to attack or block with any of those tokens, I don't think.
Yeah, probably not, but in the long run, it could make out. Though there's not gonna be much of a long run if he's dead in 2 turns. So for William Walker, of course. Let's see. So we're looking at Abrupt Decay, which is gonna take care of that Young Pyromancer, and then.
Finally gets to cast that Abrupt Decay. He's been sitting on since I think turn 1.
And usually it's so good against Delver too. But just the way that his hand was made up and the threats that he deployed, it really just kind of neutered that card this round.
That's sort of unusual how this game played out.
Oh, so that's interesting. He's attacking Snapcaster. This could be, of course, representing a Bolt, and Jared is going to just go ahead and take that damage. He's
Yeah, and
not concerned about his life
I
total.
actually think William just bluffed the bolt here,
Yeah.
which is kind of awesome. I mean, it doesn't, it's not going to help in the grand scheme, but it's pretty great that he, you know, saw that there was no reason for Jared to block and risk losing his angler to a bolt there, so he just, you know, got it for
So,
2.
yeah, definitely. And I think he just ate the Young Pyromancer, and I couldn't see what the other card he
Yeah,
ate
he ate
was.
Pyromancer to game 2.
Yep, that's for sure. Not sure on the other mode, didn't see that.
It looks like, did he exile this other Baleful Strix, or was that earlier?
Oh, that's probably what it was,
So
actually.
we definitely have Will's life total wrong somehow. But I think he's at 5.
Go ahead and change that real quick. Looks like he drew another land. Not going to help him out. Still gets that free attack for 2.
Yes, just leaning on that bolt bluff, which again is pretty great. Just getting some free points. I mean, it's probably going to be an losing effort, but people seeing free points on the table and taking them is just near and dear to my heart. So we believe that this is going to be William Walker's last turn, unless there's a Death Threat activation we missed.
Yeah, I think the only way out is if he can get another creature in the yard. If William can get another creature in the yard, then that'll save him another turn. He has then double Death Right for damage activation, so you can see right here he's dealing 2. And then it looks like he's doing it again, so we're getting a 4 damage in here.
Yeah, I mean, is there a way that he can generate a kill here? Like, if he has a lightning bolt?
It's
Maybe there is.
possible.
Maybe he's just going to kill him here.
Because he's got 2/4. The Snapcaster will have to be blocked now because he's at 6. He can also force in 1 point with Baleful Strix. He has to block. Yep.
I
We're gonna
think
see
we
the
might
1 point.
see. I think this might be lethal for William Walker here. I think we might be.
Well, he has to have the
Have
burn in his
surprised at
hand.
good time. I think if he has a lightning bolt here.
Oh, actually, he is good to go because the Snapcaster in his graveyard, he can eat that to gain the 2 if he needs to, if the game goes that long. But let's see, it's deal 2,
2 down to 3.
deal 2,
2 down to 1.
and...
Oh no, that's going to be the game. That's it. William Walker wins. On
Ah.
the back of those Death Right Shaman activations. Somehow outraces that True Name Nemesis despite us talking about how it was likely to end the game. Alright, so game 1 goes to William Walker. And they'll shuffle up and start sideboarding for game 2.
So let's see, what do they have in their sideboards that we can do?
So I'll look at what... let's see, this is William's deck list. So his sideboard is 1 Golgari Charm, 1 Flusterstorm, 1 Hydroblast, 1 Jit, a Toxic Deluge, a Sylvan Library, a Red Elemental Blast, a Pyroblast, 2 Diabolic Eater, 2 Cleaving Needle, and 3 Surgical Extraction. So right away, I think he's going to be biased to bring in some Diabolic Edicts after almost losing the game to a True Name Nemesis. But maybe he knows that there's just one.
Yeah, and it's a little risky almost to overboard Diabolic Edict effects because of the Young Pyromancers on the other side. Now, of course, it is good against Gurmag as well, and Delver and Deathrite, but if there's a Young Pyromancer that sticks, it could be a problem. I still think he'll bring them in, though, because most of the time they will be good.
I think we're also going to see Red Elemental Blast coming, of course.
Yeah,
And,
I'm expecting that.
probably Toxic Deluge?
Oh yeah, I would certainly bring in Toxic Deluge. It kills the True Name, it kills all the Young Pyromancer and his tokens, Delver, it just kills his entire deck, actually, so that's probably his strongest.
The Jit, you think he's going to want that in this matchup?
So I'm biased towards Jit. I would definitely be bringing it in, but I play Death and Taxes and I love Jit, so that's on me. I do think it is a good card that you can really just suit up, anything that you have and just mow down the enemy board.
I think it'll help his relatively smaller creatures win in combat. And, if you get Jit going against this creature-based strategy, it's very, very difficult to win. Meanwhile, what do we have in
so on the Delver side, we're going to see 2 Pyroblast, 1 Hydroblast, 2 Flusterstorm, 2 Surgical Extraction, 2 Diabolic Edict on this side too, 1 Ancient Grudge, 1 Grim Lavamancer, 1 Izzet Staticaster, 1 Marsh Casualties, 1 Dismember, and 1 Pithing Needle. So I think we're going to see them trying to be playing either... So he has 2 ways he can really go with this. He can try and go lower to the curve and really try and get under the deck, but I think that's going to be hard, or he can try and assist himself in the long game. So those Pyroblasts are going to be great, of course, and the Diabolic Edicts also could come into play. They are a really clean answer to Leovold. which is nice because he doesn't get any value from it at that point. Grim Lawmancer, good long game card, also going to give him a little more reach. Um, and the Dismember might come in. I'm not actually sure how I feel about that. I guess it's fine because you can get the Deathrite Shamans, which are going to be a really important turn one play.
I'm now realizing that I was talking about William Walker's deck list and his Diabolic Edicts. Of course, he's the one with the True Name Nemesis. So
Yeah.
the Diabolic Edicts are definitely, I think, at least one of them wants to come in on Jared's side. Or am I turning around? No, I had it right the first time. Confusing myself.
Yeah, you had it right. The
I
True
had it
Name
right the
is
first
on this
time.
side.
Yeah, so I think Jared's definitely. I think you're right. I think he's definitely going to be in the market for. He's
And I'm actually really, I mean, with William picking up game one, I think that's a good steal for him, realistically.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree.
And I think it just gets better for him after board in a lot of ways.
I definitely agree. He gets to shore up some of the weaknesses that he has against lower to the ground strategy like this. So yeah, I mean, especially when you consider that he drew the one copy of True Name Nemesis, definitely a steal for William Walker. But
Yeah.
Deathrite Shaman is just that good.
One mana planeswalkers are powerful magic
Planeswalker.
cards. So
Looks like I think we're pretty. Oh, Jared's still finishing up his cyber I guess. Looks like we're pretty close to game two here, though.
yeah, and it's the hard thing too is we know what we want to bring in, right? There's a lot of cards that you're going to want to bring in immediately, but what do you take out? I think can become obviously a really difficult decision a lot of the time.
Always the more difficult of the two questions, I think.
Yeah, and you know I don't play decks like this, so I'm not actually sure what, especially as the Czech file player, what you'd be taking out. Everything seems fine. Nothing seems inherently bad or weak. What do you think?
So I think him is probably just not very good against the Velvet decks, right? I mean, you're not trying to like ground them out in attrition. Well, you kind of are, but you're not.
You are, but in a kind of a different way.
Right,
You want to be more
exactly.
on the board.
You want answers to the board, not answers to the hand. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's possible that Thoughtseize isn't good enough. My instinct is to take out Thoughtseize against aggressive decks, but I mean, in a matchup like this where it's forcible versus forcible, it's obviously not as clear that Thoughtseize is bad. Maybe a slower card like Night's Whisper, he can just shave or something
Yeah,
like that.
I could definitely see that getting
Maybe shave a Kolaghan's Command. With decks like this that are just kind of a relative pile of cards, you kind of get a lot of flexibility with cards you can take out. So
yeah.
I'm sure he'll find what he's going to take out. It looks like we're starting game two here, having some mulligan decisions.
Taking a look at our hand, and everyone's keeping.
Both players keep, and he's going to start with Delver. There
We
go.
have the turn one Delver.
That's what you're supposed to do with this deck. Played it correctly in game twos, Jared.
So let's see if William has the answer. He looks like he just has a Deathrite Shaman. Obviously a great start. It's going to give him some mana for next turn. Get him ahead.
He's going to have to fetch a duel on turn one here, so he was very careful not to do that in game one. So we'll see if he.
And it looks like we do have the Wasteland.
Right away is the Wasteland.
Does he have a kill spell as well? It looks like he has Delver Deathrite, and he's going to play his own Deathrite Shaman. I like that play. Since he has no manipulation yet for the Delvers, he could deploy the other Delver and try and get lucky, but I like putting the Deathrite Shaman in to kind of get him some more mana fixing, because it looks like he does have Lightning Bolt in hand that he can't cast, as well as just give him some more mana for the future turns.
Does this mean that we're going to have to accurately represent like Deathrite versus Deathrite board states? Because this is something that I didn't know I was signing on for this. All right, so it's a Brainstorm, looks like, off the Deathrite for William. See, does he have the fetch land, or is he digging here? Looks like he's got a polluted Delph in his hand.
Okay, good. That'll help out a lot. Make that Brainstorm perfect. And there it is, bringing him down to 18.
Yeah, for Jared, it's a much better, traditionally much better start for his deck. Of course, he had the True Name Nemesis last game, but this is more what his deck wants to be doing.
Yeah, lower to the ground, disruptive, and then keep that disruption as the game continues. Now, I just want to point this out. William Walker does have the signed Deathrite Shaman, so I really think that does give him an edge in this current matchup.
Yeah,
and
I mean, it's not no value, right?
That's true. And we have a Fatal Push on the enemy Deathrite Shaman. Let's see what he's going to do about this. I think he did have a Daze in his hand.
Yeah, Daze is pretty good here.
Oh, he has the Force.
Wow.
Alright, so it was the Force, not the Daze.
I guess if he doesn't have a Deathrite and William does, he's going to sort of fall behind in the mana efficiency realm of things. Let's see if he flips his Delver here. Oh,
and flips it with a Flusterstorm.
That's a Flusterstorm came in, it looks like.
That is a good draw when your opponent's constrained on mana to some degree. So
looks like we just have a not even an Insectile Aberration, just some sort of indicator. That's a little loose. Looks like he's gonna cast a Lightning Bolt by exiling a land here.
And what land did he exile? I didn't see the exile take place.
He exiled his own Wasteland.
Oh, okay.
Either that or the Underground Sea.
Give us just a
Attack
second.
for
Sorry, we're
3
trying to
against
take care of some
sectile
technical
operation.
difficulties.
It's gonna drop Will down to 15. And looks like he just passes the turn after that, I believe.
So, what does he have still in hand for Jared right now? Do we know?
I did not see his last 2 cards, but it looks like William Walker still has a copy of at least one Hymn to Turok in hand. Is that a
Okay.
Diabolic Edict? It might be. Can't really catch it there. It's like a Diabolic Edict.
Lightning Bolt and
Lightning
Leovold as
Bolt
well.
and Leovold.
And he's just going
really
to
got a
pass.
well-stocked hand. But no creatures on the board to deal with what's going on currently. Just
So we're going to attack for 3. And he's just going to take it. Interesting. Since he does have the Lightning Bolt in hand, he does have a clean answer. A little surprised he's just taking it there.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what the thought process is there. So here's the Lightning Bolt.
Oh, this is still in combat, alright.
Maybe yeah, I'm sure he didn't take the 3.
Let's see. And we're going to see a Flusterstorm on that Lightning Bolt. Just going to take care of that.
What's wrong?
So we will end up taking that 3. And we're going to see a fetch on William Walker's side. Bringing him down to 11. And he's searching up, looks like a tropical island. And Kevin McCoy is going to be out for just a moment. We're trying to get his mic fixed now. So switching off whose mics are going to be working. You're just going to get a little bit of both of us throughout the rest of the, looks like this first round. So I'm assuming this is a Leovold and, or no, that is a Kolaghan's Command. Perfect. Dealing 2 and discard his last card. That is a super strong play at this point in the game. It's going to bring him down to just a Deathrite Shaman with William still being at 11. That gives him a lot of life to work with. And I believe he still has a couple cards in hand.
Okay, I'm gonna attempt to rejoin the stream. Is that better? Try to get all of our technical difficulties worked out here.
Oh, and we actually have a we might need to stop the match right now for William Walker. He did cast a Kolaghan's Command without having the correct mana. He did not have the he didn't have the second black or red to cast it. So give us just 1 second. We'll see if we can take care of that. Yeah, he couldn't cast the Kolaghan's Command. It was literally illegal. So thank you, DevC90, for pointing that out. And we're gonna go see if we can get that taken care of right now.
All right, so I sound okay now. I do no longer sound like I'm down the hall. Well, there's that emote. I don't know what that means in particular.
And let's see what the judge is going to rule. It looks like it's just going to...
Looks like the mic is good now. Okay, that's great. It looks like the judge has gone over and stopped play. We're going to figure out what happened.
Now, the turn has passed, and so I believe it's just going to be too far to rewind. Since they continue the game, and this is, I believe, a whole turn later. Which is a little bit unfortunate, because that play was massive, right? That killed the Delver. That really stopped all the pressure. Oh, but it looks like they might be rewinding.
So if they are going to rewind this, it looks like. Looks like the ruling is going to be that it has not gone back. I was with you. I thought it was going to be a situation where William just gets some, like, temporary Utopia lands because we waited too long. But it looks like they are going to try to rewind this.
They might be just talking about, he might just be explaining to the judge.
We don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, because that also discarded, I believe it was the Gurmag Angler in his last card in hand, and if that's the discard that he got, that's massive. That's changing everything,
So we'll try to figure out what the ruling is going to be. So while we're waiting, what deck were you going to play in this tournament if you decided to play today, Graydon? I know, I know there's a lot of decisions when it comes to you and deck choices.
I do have a lot of legacy decks to choose from, but I think I was going to settle on Death and Taxes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Surprising.
My go-to there. I love that deck. I think it's great pretty much all the time. Obviously, actually, I think Czech Pile's a super hard matchup for Death and Taxes. Leovold is brutal. He's so hard to deal with efficiently.
So I'm curious, with Death and Taxes, do you feel like you ever have a good match?
Against Delver, I love it. I run the Ghost Quarters instead of Rashawn parts, so I run 7 strip mines. So yeah, Delver's a great
okay.
matchup. Past
All right.
that, everything seems pretty 50-50.
I see. I always
Oh,
wonder
Turbo
if
Deaths
those,
too.
opponents of Grizzly Bears are just sort of somewhere they don't belong when I see people. But the deck posts results, so I guess I must.
Exactly,
There must be
right?
something I don't know. And it looks like let's see. It looks like the judge is no
Something was
longer at the table, but they're not playing. So I assume some sort of conference is going on.
There are multiple judges here, so they might be talking. Yeah, it looks like he pulled another judge, and we're going to take a look. They're going to be discussing what's going on. And what were you going to be playing today?
Well, my legacy weapon of choice is Red-Black Reanimator, just because, I don't know, you don't need to think that hard and get a lot of free wins. And
Yeah, we were actually playtesting just for fun right before this, and I think you crushed me 3-0.
You were very poor at drawing the card Caracas.
Yes.
And also we didn't sideboard, which is
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
does change things a little bit. But yeah, it's not great for you. The card Tidesbound Tyrant was particularly troublesome. So it looks like the ruling here is going to be that they're not going to be able to rewind this.
Okay, and that's pretty much what I expected.
That's what we expected, yeah.
It is unfortunate though because that really could swing the game far into William Walker's favor. It's really looking quite.
Right, that's the situation I was talking about where William Walker just temporarily gets some Utopia lands because neither players happened to notice at the time that he couldn't cast the card, so it's just, it stays, I guess. That's how it goes. And just to let everyone know, our timer's not going to be accurate now, of course, because they got a time extension. So we'll probably be off by 5 minutes or so.
That's okay. We'll take care of that if it comes into end up mattering.
Well, if and when we get the time, we'll sort of let you guys know what's going on. Looks like Cabal Therapy.
Any name? Not whatever those are. So there's a Leovold, a Baleful Strix, and that Jitte we talked about. He did bring in. Good on you, William.
It's like he missed on whatever he named with Cabal Therapy, though.
And there's a Leovold, which I feel like this now is just more of a formality. I don't know of any sequence of cards that can save him from the hand and the board right now. But we'll go ahead and see what he can do. William untaps. See what he's going to lead with, just a ponder. Keep making his hand as great as possible. He's probably just looking for that 4th land for that Jace that he drew. And there's the 4th land. Go ahead and fetch down to, I believe he goes down to 10.
Jace now a modern legal card, I hear.
Yes, Jace is in Modern. I don't think he's quite as strong in Modern as he is in Legacy. Well, actually, that might be wrong. He's going to see a lot of play in Modern.
Well, yeah, I mean, who really knows yet, right? We don't get a big Modern tournament for quite some time.
That's true. That's true.
So an attack for 3 here. As William starts to really take over this game.
And a Delver. While Delver is a strong card, I don't think it's going to be strong enough here.
Yeah, I think he's packing an answer for it anyways.
Let's take a look. Oh, Jitte,
oh,
that's a really good answer.
Of course. That's a pretty good answer right here.
Put it on our Flying Bird and serve. He'll go ahead and block just because it's going to die either way. He'll take 1, and we'll get 2 counters on that Jitte.
Oh, Lord. This is one of the least fun cards I think I've ever had to deal with in Standard, as Iwazawa's Jitte.
Did you say in Standard?
Oh, yeah. Also, just a very different Legend rule back then. It was...
Not a good time.
If you played your Jitte, people played Jitte because it answered Jitte. Because this Legend rule, like, if the Legends saw each other on both sides of the table, they just both died. So, yeah, you'd have control decks rocking some Jittes because, hey, you might equip it to your 1 creature, or you just answer their Jitte for 2 mana. So, yeah, that was not a fun time in Standard to be.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't play back then. Goodness, that sounds awful.
Not a great time. I mean, I was younger back then. I was kind of learning, and that was a school of hard knocks, let me tell you. So it looks like it's going to be attack here.
Just for 1.
Just for 1. He's not going to... Well, it could have been for 5 because I think he used the 2 counters to pump. And then just generated 2 more.
I didn't see him tap it, but we're going to assume he hit it.
He pumped at least once. I'm not really... Right? Because he killed the Delver with 1. So he might have only pumped once. Now I think he is pumping twice.
Putting him down to 2 now with that attack. And yeah, this game has been and is over now with that Fate Sealing Chase. So we started briefly talking. We're going to fetch here. Oh, hey, hold on. I want to see what this is. What are we fetching for? If he has an out, I want to see it.
Hey, man, he's going down fighting. He's going to keep playing until he is not permitted by the rules of Magic to continue playing.
What does he have here? Does he have that a braid?
This is a
nothing.
This is a depressing board state to be in, I'll tell you.
Yeah, at least he has lands, you know. That's one upside. He can cast a spell.
Yeah, he does have some lands and a Brainstorm.
Brainstorm
and against Leovold, not the best.
Putting
not really where you want to be. I know those go on top of the board.
Oh,
you Fate Seal yourself a few times
Twice.
there. That's not. I'll say not quite what you want to do
No,
on this
no,
board.
definitely not. And that is going to be, it looks like an attack for
I think that's lethal, yeah.
and yeah,
And
that's
that
the
is
game.
the game of the match, 2-0 to William Walker. Wow.
So kind of what at least I expected. I think you were kind of on the same page as me that William Walker was going to take over once the game, went past turn really big 2 or 3. Um, Czech pile is just, I mean, it's essentially the Jund of Legacy, right? It just does a little bit of everything, has some card advantage, has some good threats.
Yeah, I agree. Big win for William Walker, but of course it's kind of a little controversial too, right? Because he got to cast a very impactful Kolaghan's command that he did not have the mana for, but because we went too far forward in the game, that play just sort of sticks, and that's just how tournament magic goes. But
Yeah, it is a little unfortunate. But either way, that is the match. So I want to talk before the next round starts about, like you were saying, Jason Modern. So how do you feel he's going to impact that format? Because, I mean, obviously, Bloodbraid is also in ban, and Bloodbraid is going to be powerful.
yeah.
But I feel like Jace is really the card everyone's talking about. So, Jace, what are you expecting?
So I don't think anybody really knows yet. It's Modern, like it's sort of notorious for being a format where you can win with almost any 75, right? But Jace being unbanned, I don't like the idea simply for the fact because now there's a possibility that there's just going to be all these, island go Jace decks that just kind of grind people into the ground. And when that happens, a lot of the interesting decks that you can see in Modern, where people are just kind of like coming out of the woodwork with whatever, that pushes those decks out because Jace plus counter spells plus answers is very good, I hear. So that's kind of my take on Jace. Why I was kind of surprised they unbanned it, but it definitely shakes up the format. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Bloodbraid, on the other hand, Bloodbraid's a good card. I don't think it changes anything. Makes some decks a little bit better. I don't think it's really format defining, but we'll see because Modern is a weird format. And weird things have definitely happened. So.
Yeah.
Maybe nothing changes. Maybe just literally Jund decks with Bloodbraid Elves is like the only difference, and Jace just isn't good enough. But I don't think that's.
I don't see that ever happening. I just hope he doesn't take over the format. I mean, I play future-based decks. I'm not super worried about a Jace. I'm more worried about the cards that are around him, right? The Supreme Verdicts, the bad things.
Well, how much better does Supreme Verdict get when you can put in a deck with Jace, right?
That's the issue.
All right, and it looks like do we have a second?
Do we have a
second
match?
Or is that not going to happen?
Looks like all of our backups are done, so we're gonna go ahead and just kind of pause the stream. We'll be back when next round starts, and I believe that's just gonna be in about 10 minutes.
10 to 20 minutes, I would say.
We'll figure that out in a second. We'll throw it up. So we'll be back shortly. Thanks for everyone for joining us for the first round.